Good morning. I'm State Representative Jeff Keicher from the 70th District. That includes parts of DeKalb, Kane, and Boone County. We're asking today that the Pritzker administration work with thousands of Illinois residents who were recently notified that they're required to pay the state back from an overpayment of the pandemic unemployment assistance benefits that they received from the COVID-19 pandemic via the federal program. They've received these letters from the Illinois Department of Employment Security. And when I'm talking about PUA, I want you to think about gig economy workers, independent contractors, people who traditionally haven't been eligible for unemployment benefits. And the reason for so many of these overpayments of the PUA benefits is due to a lack of clarity over whether the PUA applications were being approved based on the applicant's net or gross income. IDES, due to being swamped with unprecedented applications, and I want to say we've got amazing people at the Department of Unemployment Security. If you've interacted with them, they're phenomenal folks, and they are just overburdened. So these unprecedented applications, and often they calculated the wrong benefit. And many Illinoisans were approved based on their gross income, which resulted in overpayments. Even at the maximum payment of $580 a week, this federal program wouldn't exceed $31,000 a year, full year, while unemployed. Now, first, PUA is payable for folks that aren't employees of someone else, and they couldn't work due to COVID. Again, think gig economy, independent contractors, barbers and beauticians, folks who rent chairs for a living. Think tutors, piano teachers. These folks aren't looking to get rich off a system. They're out there trying to pursue the American dream by having their own small business. They're trying to put food on the table, and COVID-19 hits. Again, the maximum benefit we're talking about is $580 a week that wouldn't otherwise be authorized because they aren't working for someone else. Under regular unemployment rules, the income of these self-employed workers, freelancers, independent contractors are not subject to the unemployment taxes that employers pay. So typically these individuals are not eligible for the benefits on the backside. Fortunately, the federal government saw a solution and introduced the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, or PUA, and it was created to help people who lose this type of work as a direct result of the public health emergency. A precondition for approval is that someone is not eligible for any other unemployment programs. We have questions of the governor. In fairness, for the people of Illinois, the administration needs to answer these. First and foremost, how many PUA claims were filed? And of those claims, how many clawbacks of those awarded is he pursuing? And how many more is he still evaluating for potential clawbacks? While federal law required states to pay back the amount they paid those who were approved in excess of the amount they should have received, a provision contained in the recently passed COVID-19 emergency relief package approved by Congress and signed by the president on December 27th grants the states the ability to waive this requirement with respect to PUA. We strongly believe that Illinois should do so without delay, and we hope that the governor agrees with us. Illinois residents who received a letter from IDES notifying them of the amount of overpayment they owe back to the state, as Representative Marin had indicated, is sometimes staggering, often thousands of dollars. So I want you to imagine being a hairdresser, out of work since March, getting a chance for unemployment insurance in July, and now in October, the state of Illinois comes out and says, hey, we need you to pay back a few $1,000s, even though you still aren't working to full capacity, and even though you probably haven't dug your way out of the hole that you were already in because you decided to pursue the American dream. Most displaced workers approved for PUA in 2020 are not able to pay anything back right now, as many gig economy workers and their families are still struggling to help those ends meet amid the pandemic. We're here to advocate for our constituents, the people of Illinois impacted by this snafu regarding the PUA benefits. We're going to be working in a bipartisan way for seeking cooperation between the governor and the legislature to waive the full amount of overpayments as outlined in the federal legislation recently passed. We believe this is an urgent priority, and it can and should be something addressed during this upcoming lame duck session. Finally, I asked in April for the governor to take ownership and send help to the people at IDES with the onslaught of unemployment claims that they were receiving. When we saw those claims in April, we immediately suggested across the board that people be sent to IDES to assist. And the word that we got at that time was, listen, it would take months to train these people. We can't get them on board quickly enough to deal with this. Well, had we hired those folks in April, where would we be now with the PUA challenges and the fraud challenges that IDES is currently encountering? Again, the fine people at IDES are just being swamped through the governor's lack of ownership of the problem, the lack of accountability, and that he keeps finding reasons to declare other problems. With all due deference to the governor, we are dealing with a pandemic, and I appreciate his ability to identify the problems that we're encountering. What is the frustration on the part of the people of Illinois? Is they don't hear solutions. They don't hear creative problem solving out of the leader of this state. The fine people of Illinois deserve an opportunity to know where our path is headed. And to this point, all the governor does is stand up, talk about the state of things, dodge questions about where we need to go, and not be accountable to taking the mantle of leadership, owning the leadership of the state of Illinois to get us recovered. And Illinois deserves nothing less than a strong leader to lead us at some of the most challenging times this state will ever know. You can always act, but your behavior is a function of your decisions, not your environment. So the fact that we find ourselves in this COVID pandemic are circumstances that have been handed to us. True leadership is going to be revealed with where we go from here.